This is BBC News from London. We are activating the Wartime Broadcasting Service at the request of His Majesty's Government.
And confirmed Britain's place at its heart. Faced with a more volatile and dangerous world, a mechanised war in Europe, and increasing aggression from authoritarian states, we must show those who would challenge our security and prosperity that NATO is united, that it is ready for this new era, and that it will remain the most successful alliance in history. Mr. Speaker, together with our allies, that is exactly what we did in three specific ways. First, we acted decisively to strengthen the alliance. We agreed the most fundamental transformation to NATO's readiness since the Cold War. That includes comprehensive warfighting plans to defend the UK and its allies, scaled up defence production to boost our stockpiles, which will benefit British industry and jobs, and increased defence spending. All allies made an enduring commitment to invest at least
Уважаемые граждане России.
Fellow Russians, today, I stand before you with a heavy heart to announce a decision of utmost gravity. The situation at hand leaves us with no alternative but to take action that will profoundly impact the course of history. The events unfolding demand a resolute response, one that safeguards our sovereignty, our values, and our very way of life. The special military operation I announced at the start of 2022 was meant to denazify Ukraine. I expressed our concerns about the unrelenting eastward expansion of NATO, a move that has brought its military infrastructure dangerously close to our borders. Our calls for cooperation and adherence to international agreements have fallen on deaf ears, and our legitimate security concerns have been brushed aside. It is with deep regret that I must declare that our efforts to find common ground and peaceful solutions have been exhausted. NATO's continued disregard for our concerns and its aggressive encroachment in regions that are historically and culturally significant to Russia leave us with no choice but to take a definitive stand. This leaves us with no alternative but to denazify not just Ukraine, but the rest of the European continent. Our commitment to justice, sovereignty, and international norms has led us to pursue a peaceful path for years, even in the face of blatant provocation. The actions of NATO, however, have forced our hands into taking action ourselves. The UK will be blown.
And now, at the request of His Majesty's Government, we will switch from the Wartime Broadcasting Service to the Emergency Alert System. This is an emergency broadcast from the BBC at the request of His Majesty's Government. We advise you to listen to this broadcast carefully. Information of a nuclear strike against the United Kingdom by Russia has been received. Current threat level is critical, meaning an attack is imminent. You are advised to stay in your homes and prepare as much as possible for the upcoming 14-day sheltering period. All motorways, ports and airports have been closed for military use. Non-essential telephone lines have been disconnected for military use, and non-essential internet services have been throttled to prioritize military bandwidth over civilian bandwidth. Targets of the nuclear strike are currently unknown, but major cities are being evacuated. By now, you should already have prepared a sheltering space, and inside it an inner refuge. If not, do so now. You are advised to build a shelter in the lowest and centermost point of your home, away from external doors and windows. Ensure you have at least 14 days' worth of necessities in your shelter. Take 2 weeks' worth of food, water, clothing, utensils, torches and a radio. Make sure that the radio is either hand crank powered or battery powered. If the latter, ensure you have extra batteries. Make sure to take the booklet Protect and Survive with you, if you have a copy of it. Collect water now, as once the strikes occur, water will be contaminated with radioactive fallout. Ensure you have medicine and toiletries to last a minimum of 14 days, and keep with you any important documents you might need after the sheltering period. Make sure gas and other fuel supplies are switched off. Block all windows and doors, and make sure there are no openings in your house where radiation can pass, as any openings will make your preparations futile. Make sure your shelter and inner shelter are ready for you and your family to shelter in at a moment's notice. If anybody dies during the sheltering period, take the body out of the inner refuge and cover it until the 14 days pass. After that you can dispose of the body properly. Pets should be euthanized as they require additional resources which you cannot waste. You will be informed via radio about when it is safe to go outside. Tune into your local BBC radio station every 2 hours on the hour from 8